Haven't filed in many years? No problem. Owed IRS? No problem. Not sure how to file a tax return? No problem. At Eminent Financial Services, we have seen almost every scenario imaginable. With our 11 years of existence as a company, we have been able to help all of our clients find a light through the darkness. No problem. So give us a call today at 501-216-4278 or visit us on our website at thesumofitall.net. Eminent Financial Services, the sum of all your financial needs.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when and where you're going to be watching this live stream or catching the hashtag replay of this live stream. I'm your host, Kevin Williams with ABB Media Group, and welcome to My Story series. My Story is brought to you by Arkansas Black Businesses, where we connect buyers to Black businesses and Black businesses to buyers. But today we have in the virtual building a skincarepreneur. Please welcome Kristen Scott with Face of Grace. Kristen, how are you today, skincare queen?
I'm doing amazing, Kevin. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, and welcome to My Story. So, Kristen, look, I'm already warming up the hands. I'm about to go get the popcorn. But all of the viewers want to know how this whole Face of Grace business ownership came about for you. So go right ahead and share the story with us because we are all about to start eating some popcorn.
Well, Kevin, I, like many others, was working in corporate America, working to achieve what I thought success looked like. Working long hours, day in, day out, nights, holidays, weekends, you name it, and I worked it. At some point, it became evident to me, Kevin, that I had reached the glass ceiling that corporate America was going to allow me to reach. I knew that in the back of my mind, but I still, the way that I was raised is you work hard. If you're going to be a street sweeper, you be the best. So I continued to work hard to get the positions that have been promised, but those promises never came to. And so I had a manager who was very honest and transparent, and we're actually good friends today. And honestly, we're more like family. She sat me down and she said, "Listen, this is it for you. You're not going to go any further. The only way that you're going to go further is you're going to have to get out of Little Rock." And so my husband worked for the same company for over 24 years. And although I made very good money, he was the primary breadwinner. And so I knew, and he also was a business owner. So I knew that there was no way that I could get out of Little Rock. And so I knew at that moment, something had to change, something had to be next, there had to be more for me, but I didn't know what that more was. And so I was no longer that employee that I was previously. I'm not the employee who's coming to work an hour early anymore. If I was, I sat in my car or I went to the company's game room and played Miss Pac-Man. It got to the point to where when I pulled into the parking lot, my mood instantly changed. If my shift started at 8:01, I was saying, I'm ready to go. And so back in September of 2017, I became a brand ambassador for Crystal Perkins, owner of God and Goals. And the way that the program was set up was that I was to sell her t-shirts, but have my own business name. And honestly, at that point in my life, Kevin, I was really at a loss. I was really more so looking for more so spiritual development, spiritual growth. And so I would attend the conference calls and, just really trying to figure out what's next. So one day I was sitting at work and God just dropped the name Face of Grace. And so I would hashtag it every now and then. I would post a shirt here or there, but nothing to where I'm just trying to push a shirt. And so I said, if I'm going to sell these shirts, what else can I do? And so I was like, well, maybe I can sell sunglasses. And I was like, well, that goes with the name Face of Grace. So at this point, I'm still not happy. I just wasn't satisfied. I didn't know what was next. And, a part of me, looking back, I can say, although I knew I had reached the glass ceiling, I was crushed. I was disappointed. I was angry. And so I said, there's got to be another way. So December 4th, 2017, I told myself, you know what? I'm just going to take me a stress leave. I'm not stressed, I'm going to take a leave. But in all honesty, I was stressed. I needed the leave. And so I took a leave. And the weekend before it was time for me to return to work, I told my husband, I said, I need God to move suddenly. I don't want to go back to work. And so that Tuesday, I received a phone call from a coworker, and she said, listen, I have something to tell you, but you can't tell anyone. And so she told me that Verizon was going to restructure, and I could either take my severance, I could relocate, or I could apply to keep the same job that I had.
Kristen, wait, hold on one second. So someone has something to tell you, but you couldn't tell nobody. And so, Kristen, so people can understand, break down what restructure means, so people can understand that terminology, just in case they hear it again down the road. They go, yeah, you all not slick. Kristen told us what this is. So what does restructure mean?
Honestly, what it meant, it was a word that they used to prevent from saying we were losing jobs, that they were downsizing. So what they said was, no one's losing their job, but if you want to continue to work, you're going to have to take a lower paying job. So I was like, well, she doesn't know anyone with that type of inside information. Well, the very next day, I received a call from Human Resources, and they gave me those exact same options. And so it was all of a sudden like a burden was lifted, a weight was lifted. And she said, we're restructuring. You can relocate. You can take a severance. I said, severance? And she said, well, no, think about it. I said, you don't understand. This is the best news I've heard in a long time.
Wow.
And so when I hung up the phone, my husband said, well, it seems like you got yours suddenly. And so I said, okay, well, what am I going to do now? And a couple of years ago, I wanted to do lash extensions, but I couldn't because you had to be a licensed cosmetologist or an esthetician. And with my work schedule, it just wouldn't allow me to go to school. And so I said, so I'll go to school to be an esthetician. And I said, wow, that goes with the name Face of Grace. And so I knew what school I wanted to go to, and a church member of mine worked at the school. So I said, well, I'll just talk to her at church on Sunday. And 2 months go by and she doesn't come to church. But all of a sudden, one day I was at work and she sent me a Facebook friend request. So I immediately jumped in her inbox and told her what I was looking to do. And she said, well, I'll set you up an interview. So I went for my interview in May, and the lady that I interviewed with, she said, well, I normally don't interview for this class until the end of August or the beginning of September because it doesn't start until October, but I like you. So I'm going to give you a spot. And so I was so excited. But the only thing was, in order to receive my severance from Verizon, I had to work until the last day, which was October 26th. So I said, I'll just call in sick every day. And then, just being honest.
But you know what, Kristen? There's two things I'm getting out of this. One is that favor ain't fair, and you have a lot of favor. And two, it seemed like at some point you begin to understand the system, how it works. It's like you allow them to utilize your skills, and then you turn around and said, okay, now it's time for me to utilize what I've learned. And so y'all got to give back to me now. That's what it sounds like.
That's exactly what I was saying. And so I said, but if I'm saying that God lined this up, I don't have to lie. And so if he gives the vision, he'll make the provision. So
Mm.
I talked to my manager and I said, this is what I need. And she said, well, I can't make it happen, but, we'll see. So comes back that I can leave early and still receive my severance. However, I
Wow.
couldn't tell the team of employees that I was managing that I was leaving. So when I left October the 11th, they thought I was just going home for the evening, but I was done. So
Wow.
I started school October 12th. Finished school October 12th. I'm sorry, started school October 12th, finished May the following year.
Mm-hmm.
March of the following year, and started in solar salons in April. Once I stayed there until actually June of this year. And so now I'm located in my new facility on Rawlings Circle.
Wow. So it sounds like you were really mapping out how you were going to strategically do things.
Yeah, so I will tell you, it took a whole lot of faith. I didn't know I had a plan. You have to have a plan, but I
Right.
didn't know exactly how it all was going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a song person. So when I thought about, once I found out what I was going to do on my way to work, I would listen to one of my favorite songs by the Clark sisters, Expect Your Miracle.
Mm-hmm.
And I will also listen to Charlie Wilson, I'm Blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew something was going to happen, but I didn't know what. And so I tell you, if I had to do it all over again,
Mm-hmm.
I would. The only thing that I would do differently is
Mm-hmm.
those positions that I was promised that I didn't get. I wouldn't get upset. At this point, I honestly would just be able to tell those people thank you, because that was the best thing that they could have done for me. Because had they given me those positions, I would be where I am today.
You'd be in a comfortable state, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So now that you are an esthetician, you know, we hear the word esthetician, you know, moving around from one person to the next, you know, because you got all these skincare products out there, and then you know we know people who looking for instant gratification. That's just, it is what it is. You know, they started with these different products, but now they don't work. And you know, and someone says, "Well, I told you for the longest, you need to go see an esthetician." But in our minds, you know, we thinking $500 or $1,000. So, you know, exactly what is the terminology for an esthetician? Like, help us understand that.
So an esthetician, I'm an educated professional that's trained to read your skin's past, treat your skin's present, and guide you to a healthy skin future. So the best way I can say it is, the number one concern for women is we don't want to look old, right? So you can be an esthetician to help you slow down the aging process. Or if you have various skincare concerns, such as hyperpigmentation, we provide services for that, as well as create a customized skincare regimen for you. So
Now, would that cost like $1,000?
absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Then I'll keep sending my wife.
Yes. What I will tell you, Kevin, is, skincare is an investment.
Yeah.
But I have an analogy that I always use, and that's good food ain't cheap and cheap food ain't good.
Now, I'm gonna tell you where we both got that from.
McIntyre. Yes.
Well, look, Kristen, when I tell people, because I always say, even in business, you know, well, Kevin, man, to do a professional video, that's pretty up there. And I said, well, look, let me just show you what the famous Robert C. McIntosh used to say. And he would say, like you said, good food ain't cheap and cheap food ain't good. You're going to get what you pay for. And when you understand that, it'll take you to a whole nother level.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so we got an understanding of what an esthetician is. Now, give me 3 to 5 reasons why someone should see an esthetician.
So one of the main reasons right now is because most of people are suffering from maskne, so the effects of wearing a mask.
You talking about for the COVID-19?
Yes.
How is that?
So, your face, you're wearing a mask, so your face is primarily covered the majority of the day if you're working or if you're in and out. And so the effects of that, a lot of times we're experiencing breakouts. And so for those people who've never seen an esthetician and they don't have a good skincare regimen, they don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you want to be able, like I said earlier, I can help you slow the signs of aging. And then the third reason would be so that you can get a good skincare regimen. It's better to be proactive versus reactive. Oftentimes, clients don't come to an esthetician until they're experiencing problems.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be proactive. And honestly, Kevin, it's not just about getting a facial because you have skincare concerns.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's all about self-care. With everything going on with the pandemic, more people are stressed, worried about loss of income, just various things. And it's a really good form of self-care. So those would be my top reasons to see an esthetician.
Okay, so we have an esthetician, but we also have a dermatologist. So for someone who is not sure what they should go first, should someone come see a dermatologist first, or should someone see an esthetician first? Which one should they do?
So, of course, the dermatologist and esthetician, we're both trained to treat the skin.
Mm-hmm.
The dermatologist, of course, is a medical doctor. However, I always recommend that you see an esthetician first.
Mm-hmm.
Just because your skincare concerns may not necessarily warrant the treatment of a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
When you come to Face of Grace, you'll get an in-depth skin analysis. And at that point, I will tell you if it's outside of my scope and if you need to see a dermatologist. If you do need to see a dermatologist, however, it's still good to see your esthetician for maintenance. Oftentimes, the dermatologist is just going to write a prescription,
Mm-hmm.
and those prescriptions generally do bring after effects, such as acne, scarring, and the prescription is not going to cure that. And so that's where your esthetician comes in. So I always recommend that you see an esthetician first. And if I do refer you to a dermatologist, you see me for maintenance. So we work hand in hand.
Okay, so there was a point in time, Kristen, my niece, I think she was either a junior or a senior in high school, and she had a real bad case of pronounce it for me. Is it acne?
Acne.
Acne. Well, it was acting me for her acne. No, but she really had a bad case of acne, and my sister, which is her mother, she probably spent products wise probably about $700 to $800, and then seeing a dermatologist. I mean, like you were saying, probably another $500 or $600. So my question is, parents who have teenage kids who are breaking out on their face real bad, should they bring their kids to you first to let you kind of again do that analysis with them?
Yes, absolutely. And I have several teenage clients who are experiencing acne. One more so that I'm thinking of is a young lady that she's been coming probably about a year now. And when she came in, her mother said, listen, we've been to a dermatologist. We've spent hundreds of dollars on prescriptions and nothing worked. What can you do? So it's all about, even though they're teenagers and they need a good regimen as well, there's certain things that we don't necessarily think about that impact our skin. And that's information that I educate you on during your consultation as well. So absolutely. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because when I started, I thought about my client base, what I wanted my client base to look like. And what came to mind is I really wanted to treat young ladies in their teens who were experiencing acne, because sometimes acne greatly impacts our self-esteem.
Yeah.
We feel like we look our best, we'll give our best. So that was one reason why I really wanted to work with young ladies who were experiencing acne.
Okay. Okay. So parents that's watching, or teenagers that may be watching this live stream, now you have a go-to person to help you resolve the challenges that you may be facing with acne. Um, so Kristen, let's talk about what happens after they are receiving the treatments from you. Is there still some type of in-home care maintenance that they need to be doing?
Absolutely. So generally, depending on the skincare concerns, you would only see me once a month. And so
Mm-hmm.
with that being said, it's very important that a client is dedicated to their at-home regimen. So once
Mm-hmm.
you come in, I'll talk about your skincare goals,
Mm-hmm.
current condition of your skin, and I'll recommend a customized skincare regimen.
Mm-hmm.
It will be important that the client does complete their regimen, twice a day in order to maintain and achieve results.
Okay. And so in that stage, let's talk about products. So, what are some of the products that you highly recommend uh, clients to be using?
So when you think about products, the first thing I recommend is stop asking your friends and family what they use.
Girl, go get some of that Proactive. They had that commercial on TV.
Yes, because it may work for your friends and family, but your skincare concerns may not be the same. Um,
Mm.
so you may experience little to no results. And so when it comes to products, that's the reason that it's important to have an esthetician who knows your skin,
Mm-hmm.
who will be able to recommend specific products for you.
Mm-hmm.
Or so when we think about products, there's three types of products.
Mm-hmm.
We have regular grade products, which are
Mm-hmm.
products that you can purchase anywhere. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you have professional grade products, which are
Mm-hmm.
products that have to be purchased from a licensed professional, so from an esthetician. And
Mm-hmm.
you have medical grade products, which are products that are prescribed by a doctor or dermatologist.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is the active ingredient that you need to work. The
Mm-hmm.
concentration is heavier in professional grade products and medical grade products rather than, I'm sorry, professional grade and medical grade, and not that heavy in regular grade. So
Okay.
using regular grade products, you may feel like you're getting little to no results, and that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are some regular grade products on the market that will work, just depending on your specific skin type. So when you come into Face of Grace, we'll talk about the best options for you. But definitely stop using your friends and family's products because they may not work for you.
Okay. And why should someone seek um, treatment or seek some type of skin counseling from Face of Grace?
So with Face of Grace, it's about the total experience, Kevin. So to be honest with you, we have a laser focus on the overall customer experience here.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to provide professional service.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, we are told that we have a very nice ambiance. And your service doesn't stop when the appointment ends. There's service
Mm.
beyond the appointment. And one thing that I'm very big on, when you come to Face of Grace, you're not
Mm-hmm.
going to wait on me. I'm waiting on you. I'm opening the door for
Mm.
you for your appointment time. And most importantly, you're going to receive honest communication, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to be with you every step of the way. So if you want, and lastly, I told you earlier that an esthetician was an educated professional.
Mm-hmm.
I consistently invest in education so that I can keep up with the latest services, the latest.
Mm-hmm.
My learning didn't stop when I left the classroom. And so
Mm.
you want someone who's going to continue to learn and invest in themselves so that you know that you're receiving the highest level of service. And also, I'm not just a feel good esthetician. You will feel good during the service, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
a results driven esthetician.
Wow. So feel good, results driven esthetician.
Yes.
Wow. Now you got something going on for the month of December. You just recently created a community where the people who join your community get 40% off their facials, right?
That's correct. So if they join my VIP community,
Okay.
and they can do that by texting the word Face of Grace
Okay.
to 501
Mm-hmm.
382 8889.
Okay. Okay. So again, for those of you that want to save in the month of December, Kristen Scott is doing some giving, and she's giving 40% off, but you have to join her community because that's where she hides all of the deals. She's not putting them on social media. This is for the VIP community. So if I were you, I would text again the word Face of Grace to 501-382-8889. Kristen, take us out with some skincare words of wisdom.
Well, Kevin, I would say you would have to come see me to get those words of wisdom. However, I would say your skin is the one thing that will be with you for life.
Wow.
Take care of it.
I like that. Your skin is the one thing that will be with you for life. Take care of it. Wow, that's powerful, Kristen. Well, listen, anytime you want to come back and hang out with us on the platform to share some insider skin tips, you are more than welcome to come back, Kristen. And also, to learn more about Kristen, you can go to arkansasblackbusinesses.com. Kristen is hanging out with us on the Black Business website director. This girl, look, she gonna make sure wherever you go, there she is. Okay, she not playing with that marketing war. It's like when you think of skincare, you're gonna think of Face of Grace, and that's powerful, Kristen, because that's how you do it. Hey, wherever they hanging out, that's where I need to be.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Kevin. I appreciate all that you're doing. Definitely appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. So, guys, this has been another great My Story interview series with the one and only Kristen Scott with Face of Grace. We will see you on the next My Story series. Goodbye for now.